I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser and Garen guide on the Summoner School website. I gave out every single piece of information that I thought was relevant to both champions and everything that I use personally. It explains how you should play in the mid to late game, itemization, champion matchups, and more. Each guide also has a unique matchup spreadsheet. If you want to check either guide out, you can use my link in the video description. With all that being said, please enjoy this video. I wasn't sure who I was going to be up against this game, so I took the runes that I would normally run into Mbessa. But not much changes into Riven. The only notable things is that in the very small runes I take 1 flat health and 1 scaling health and no attack speed. What I like to do into Riven is play it really slowly until my Rylai's. She can use one of her Q dashes to dodge out of the way of your Q and your E, so it is very unreliable to try to hit them. You might be able to once she uses all of them, but most of the time she'll have at least 1 saved. Her level 6 all-in is also extremely deadly because she has a lot of burst. This is why I like to rush a Chain Vest or Bramble Vest. Either one works fine, it's just that Chain Vest gives you more defensiveness, whereas Bramble Vest gives you that heal cut in case Riven goes Sundered Sky. And when I am going to buy my Rylai's, I basically always buy the Giant's Belt component first, unless I am super fed, then I might buy the Blasting Wand or Amp Tome. Having Chain Vest plus Giant's Belt is going to be huge into Riven. She can always short trade into you by doing something like Q auto W and then Eing away. Or just sitting in your melee range for longer, attacking you while doing all of her Q procs, and then just using her E at the end to distance herself. The goal is to get to Rylai's and Serpent's Fang, and once you get those, you can reliably 1v1 Riven, because she will be forced to use her dashes. Most of the time Riven will rush Eclipse. She might sometimes rush Axiom Arc, or even Sundered Sky. Serpent's Fang will cut out both her E shield and the Eclipse shield, and that will be absolutely massive here. On top of that, your 2 core is very cheap. Serpent's Fang and Rylai's Crystal Scepter barely cost above 5,000 gold. On top of that, you have magical footwear, so you don't even need to worry about not purchasing movement speed because those free boots will give you even more speed. And then after Serpent's Fang and Rylai's, you can go for Experimental Hexblade and just auto attack her down. She might try to save a Q dash or her E to dodge out your Q or E, but you won't even need to use them. You can just sit there in melee range and auto attack her. The toughest part of the lane by far is until you get your Giant's Belt and that Chain Vest. After that, you just need to play it slowly and respect her burst. The moment you get to Rylai's and Serpent's Fang, you can fight her basically always.
Has been slain.
Now that I have Rylai's, I can just look to set up a freeze. I will hold her wave behind her turret, and then my wave will crash into her tower. And once it fully crashes, then it's going to freeze for me, because there will be 2 minion waves fighting my one following minion wave, which means that Riven will need to walk up the farm. And then I can fight her because I have the Rylai spike. What Riven can do is hold the wave and not let it crash into the tower, or she can go for a proxy. And if she goes to proxy behind my tower, the only thing I can do is proxy myself and then recall to stop her. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a perma freeze on my end and she will need to have someone come help her. But because I have my ultimate, I can maybe turn around the 2v1 or 3v1 even and make it a 1-for-1.
Turret plating will soon fall.
The moment I see that she hyper roamed to bot lane, I just look to shove out the wave and take plates. There's no reason to hold the freeze anymore. Echo teleports back, and the moment he jumps on me with his E, I use my ultimate on him. And I want to explain why exactly. If you look at his runes, he has Hail of Blades, meaning his first 3 attacks will get massively increased attack speed. So if I use my ultimate while he is attacking me and he still has 1 Hail of Blade proc, I can steal 10% of that enhanced attack speed. If you look at my attack speed during the fight while I'm in my ultimate, I have 1.0 attack speed from 0.82. On top of that, once the Hail of Blades effect procs down from Echo, it means his overall attack speed is even lower while he's fighting me. So he's going to auto attack me even less times while he's in my ulti.
You have slain an enemy. A summoner has disconnected.
This lane can actually be quite difficult depending on how Zac plays and what he buys. I've seen a lot of Zac players go Conqueror and Ignite because Zac has unironically a lot of damage, especially at level 6. Never underestimate the strength of his level 6 power. Not only can he burst you down really hard with a full combo, but his ultimate will make it to where he will constantly drop blobs, which means whenever he picks one up, he will heal a lot and reduce his W by 1 second. Basically at level 6 he can W 3 or even 4 times in one fight, maybe even more. Always try to respect his burst because it can get really high. He can also rush something like a Spirit Visage and gain insane healing from his blobs. You need to kill essentially every single blob that he drops to make sure that he doesn't sustain. If you don't, he will regenerate a lot of health and very fast. And that gets very frustrating to try to do when he's under his own tower where the blobs land safely. This is why I also rush Oblivion Orb into him always. The healing he gets is absolutely disgusting. You need Oblivion Orb. And then after that I look to go for Rylai's Crystal Scepter. And the reason I go Rylai here is because I run the Inspiration setup with approach velocity, but the fact that Zac is slowed down and you are also sped up from approach velocity is huge, because it means that he has a tougher time getting to his blobs to heal up, while you have an easier time squishing them to make sure that he can't get them. You can also use your ultimate to make it to where he doesn't have a second target to land his Q on. Normally if Zac tries to Q you, he might tag a minion and then attack you. you. That way, it is basically guaranteed that you're going to get stunned up and pulled. But if you use your ultimate on him and he has latched onto a minion, the tether will disappear and essentially his Q just goes away. Another very good thing to know is that his blobs do not follow into the realm. So if he does a combo of QEW and then tries to ulti you, just before the ulti connects, maybe you get your own ult off and then all the blobs from his basic combo will not follow into the realm. And that can make it to where the fight is in your favor. He is also a huge teamfight threat. You can try to ulti him while he's flying in the air, but you can't reliably pull him. And this is because your pull has too much of a wind-up time. Another thing that is very good to keep in mind is the fact that if you are ever just pushing down a tower, you need to make sure you have the area warded, because if it is not warded, Zac can jump from the fog of war and kill all the minions and then maybe kill you because the tower is now focusing you. After your Rylai, you can go for something like Bloodletter's Curse or Liandry's Torment. Both work well, or you can do even both. This lane can be very punishing to play. I would say it is a skill matchup, but it is punishing. And this is because Warwick is a huge 1v1 threat. The moment that Blade of the Ruin King gets completed, his damage skyrockets insanely hard. I would say Blade of the Ruin King Warwick is one of the best one-item spike champions in the entire game. You can try to abuse him until then, but even so, his early game is still very powerful. Both his Q and ultimate can cancel your ulti. You can try to use your ultimate at an unpredictable timing and maybe he won't be able to use his ultimate or Q because he won't expect you ulting like let's say at the beginning of a fight. But this isn't always guaranteed to work. If, for example, he uses his Q to dodge out of the way of your ulti, that is very bad. At least if he uses his ultimate, it's an ulti trade. Heal cut is also essential into Warwick, and this is because of how much he actually heals. I also like to go for Rylai Rush here, and this is because I will use the slow to space him. If he can't get on top of you and constantly auto attack you, it won't be that difficult difficult to play into him. There's also the fact that whenever you dip below half health, his W activates and that is very bad for you. You need to stay at higher health totals against him. And also keep in mind the fact that when he hits half health, that is basically where he is staying. You will either burst him from half health through his barrier, or you won't move his health. Any poke you place onto him after he is below half health will basically not matter because he's gonna heal up so quick. Even if you buy heal cut, it won't matter most of the time. So for example, if you're 100% health and he's 50% health, that is good. But if you then go in for a trade and you go to 70% health and he goes to 20% health, that is bad. Because after the trade, he can quickly heal back up to half, so that is a lost trade on your end. After Rylai's, what I look to do is buy plated steel caps and then Kaenic Rookern. And the reason I go Kaenic Rookern into Warwick is because he has a lot of magic damage. Part of his auto attacks deal magic damage, his Q deals magic damage fully, and his ultimate deals magic damage fully. Which means that after you buy Kaenic Rookern, he first needs to break that shield to even deal damage with his ultimate or Q. And that can allow you to win the 1v1. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.